Learn English to Hindi communication verbs, criticize, praise, and
बातचीत करना.
welcome to the noisy meeting. Hey, you are in the right place if you want useful Hindi for real conversations. Today you will learn with a chaotic office story, and yes, it includes drama, snacks, and one very emotional parrot. It began on a Monday morning, which is already suspicious. You walk into a meeting room where 8 people, 3 cups of chai, and 1 parrot named Mr. Democracy are waiting. The boss says, "Today we must communicate like professionals." The parrot immediately starts to
आलोचना करना.
the PowerPoint font. Rude, but accurate. Then the intern stands up and says, "Before we begin, I want to
प्रशंसा करना.
the team for arriving only 15 minutes late." Miraculously, everyone smiles. But peace lasts 7 seconds. A manager wants to
शिकायत करना.
about the air conditioning, the chairs, the coffee, and possibly gravity itself. Another coworker bumps into the table, spills chai everywhere, and quickly decides to
माफी मांगना.
good choice. Now the team has an idea for a new project. Half the room seems to
सहमत होना.
2 people want to
अस्वीकार करना.
it immediately. 1 brave soul tries to
राजी करना.
the doubters and the finance department insists they should first
बातचीत करना.
about the budget. Congratulations. In one dramatic room, you have just met all 8 target words. Your verbs for today. Let's make the chaos useful. Here are your key verbs in a clean, memorable set. To criticize is
आलोचना करना.
imagine the parrot judging your haircut. To praise is
प्रशंसा करना.
imagine applause, gold stars, and dramatic thumbs up. To complain is
शिकायत करना.
think of someone at a hotel saying the soup is too wet. To apologize is
माफी मांगना.
this is what you do after stepping on someone's foot or sending a voice note to the wrong group. To agree is
सहमत होना.
nod like you finally understand the group plan. To reject is
अस्वीकार करना.
push away a terrible idea, like pineapple tea. To convince is
राजी करना.
use reasons, charm, and maybe snacks. To negotiate is
बातचीत करना.
meet in the middle, especially when money, plans, or mangoes are involved. Mini dialogue madness. Now you will hear the words in action. Picture each scene like a tiny comedy sketch. Scene 1. A says, "Why is the designer upset?" B says, "Because people keep
आलोचना करना.
his work." Scene 2. A says, "Did you like her presentation?" B says, "Yes, I want to
प्रशंसा करना.
her effort." Scene 3. A says, "The room is too noisy." B says, "Then go
शिकायत करना.
politely." Scene 4. A says, "You broke my mug." B says, "I should
माफी मांगना.
also, I should stop dancing near furniture." Scene 5. A says, "Do you agree with this idea?" B says, "Yes, I."
सहमत हूँ.
Quote. Scene 6. A says, "Will you accept this bad contract?" B says, "No, I will."
अस्वीकार करना.
It. Scene 7. A says, "I am not sure." B says, "Let me."
राजी करना.
You with better reasons. Scene 8. A says, "The price is too high." B says, "Then let's."
बातचीत करना.
Quote. The Office Survival Story. Time for a bigger story. Listen for the target words and imagine the scene like a sitcom with very little budget and too much confidence. You are now officially part of Team Thunder Mango, a startup with 1 app, 4 opinions, and 0 calm. The team gathers to discuss a launch campaign. First, Reena starts to
प्रशंसा करना.
the graphic designer. She says the new logo looks modern, bold, and slightly less confusing than the old one, which looked like a potato wearing glasses. Everyone laughs. Then Vikram begins to
आलोचना करना.
the slogan. He says, "Why does it sound like a toothpaste commercial for astronauts?" Nobody knows, but he has a point. Suddenly the office printer makes a sound like a goat learning jazz. The accountant storms into
शिकायत करना.
for the third time that day. He says the machine eats paper, respect, and hope. The intern, who accidentally printed 100 blank pages, decides to
माफी मांगना.
before anyone notices the paper mountain behind him. After much debate, some people
सहमत होना.
want the launch next week. Others want to
अस्वीकार करना.
that idea because the app still crashes if you look at it too confidently. So Mira, the calmest person in the room, tries to
राजी करना.
both sides. She says, what if we launch a smaller version first? This is smart, so now the team starts to
बातचीत करना.
about money, deadlines, and who keeps stealing the good pens. In the end, they reach a plan. Not a perfect plan, but a plan with chai, hope, and fewer jazz goat printer noises. Quick memory drill. Let's lock the words into your brain. Repeat after each English word in your mind, or out loud if nobody is watching. Criticize.
आलोचना करना.
Praise.
प्रशंसा करना.
Complain.
शिकायत करना.
Apologize.
माफी मांगना.
Agree.
सहमत होना.
Reject.
अस्वीकार करना.
Convince.
राजी करना.
Negotiate.
बातचीत करना.
Tiny quiz, big drama. You are doing great. Now test yourself before the parrot starts grading you. What is the Hindi for criticize?
आलोचना करना.
What is the Hindi for praise?
प्रशंसा करना.
What is the Hindi for complain?
शिकायत करना.
What is the Hindi for apologize?
माफी मांगना.
What is the Hindi for agree?
सहमत होना.
What is the Hindi for reject?
अस्वीकार करना.
What is the Hindi for convince?
राजी करना.
What is the Hindi for negotiate?
बातचीत करना.
Real life tip. Here is a useful speaking tip for you. These verbs are powerful because they appear in work, family, friendship, and travel situations. If somebody points out problems, they may.
आलोचना करना.
If they notice something good, they may.
प्रशंसा करना.
If service is bad, you may need to.
शिकायत करना.
If you make a mistake, it helps to.
माफी मांगना.
In a discussion, you may.
सहमत होना.
Or,
अस्वीकार करना.
if you want someone to change their mind, you try to.
राजी करना.
And if both sides want a deal, they.
बातचीत करना.
In other words, this little set of verbs can save you in meetings, markets, and mildly awkward family dinners. Friendly conclusion. Nice work today. You just learned a strong set of English to Hindi communication verbs. Thank you for learning with me. Today you practiced
आलोचना करना. प्रशंसा करना. शिकायत करना. माफी मांगना. सहमत होना. अस्वीकार करना. राजी करना.
and.
बातचीत करना.
Keep practicing a little every day, repeat the words aloud, and use them in your own funny mini stories. You are making real progress, so come back, practice again, and let the parrot be proud of you.